Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to create a service in Angular. Before starting this topic, let me show what I've done till now in this application. So we have 4 fields which contains validation. When you click on the save user, we are just logging a form. That's what we have done it, and we didn't write any kind of logic to save into the backend or database level. Okay. So before diving into our topic, let's discuss about what is service actually. Service, why we require a service first. See, for example, you have the right now user component. In the user component, right now we have only save user method. This save user method, what does it? It call, for example, it have to add data into the database, or it have to call some service. We have to do some data manipulation. Okay. So if you want to do that, if you write a code inside this particular component, okay, if you write inside a component, it will work as expected, no issue in that. But in future, you have one more component which need the same logic needs to be implemented there. Okay, that time again we have to rewrite this particular code, right? Instead of doing it, means 2 times we have to rewrite it, and one more complexity to understand it. Anytime whenever your component get instance created, so you have to run this logic. So the load of the component will be very high. So what we have to do, we have to make it very neat and clean, this particular component. To do that, we should have a service. So once services has it, so you can put your own logic, whatever logic required to save the data, you put it there. Let it take care of all the process. Let it save, let it do all the operation what is required. Let it return a response to you. Based on that, you can just show your UI according to that. Okay. So I hope you understood why we require a service. Let's get started. Let's create a service. So what I'm going to do it, I'm not going to use a CLI right now, Angular CLI. First I will do manually, because CLI is automatically giving how the class is created. Let's understand how we can create a manually. When you go step by step, you will understand how to create a service from the scratch. Okay, let's create a file. First I will create a user.service.ts. So you can give any name. Right now I'm focusing on user component, that I given a user.service.ts file. You can give any name. Okay, before proceeding that, if you look that our HTML, we have 4 fields: name, username, gender, and location. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to create a model which contains these 4 properties. Okay, so what I'm going to do it, I think, let me delete this unwanted file. Let me create a new file that I will make user.model.ts file. Okay, now we have created 2 files. One is user.model.ts file and another one is user.service.ts file. Now I'm going to create a class here which contains 4 properties. So export class user model. You can give any name. So naming convention, I'm just giving a user model. Okay, and what I'm going to do here, I'm going to create a constructor, so which going to take up 4 properties. Okay, so I'm going to give name as a string, username as a string, and we have gender as a string, and location as a string. That's it. So we have created a user model class. So this will be useful when you are adding or updating, deleting. So I'm going to say to that service, I'm just making an action based on the user model. I'm just saving the user data only. Okay, now go to our user service. Let me create a service first. So what I'm going to do, export. You may wonder why I'm always using export. So export, why I'm using, if we export your class here in our application, wherever we want, we can import it. Okay, that's the main reason I'm just using export keyword here always. Export class. The service is basically nothing but is a plain class of TypeScript class. So no need to write as export.service. No, it's just a plain class, but we have to decorate that one. We should say to the Angular it's a service like that. Okay, so export class user service, have created a class now, but I have to say to the Angular this is not a normal class, it's a service. How can we see it? For that we should use decorate as an injectable. Okay, what is injectable? See, this injectable is main core of this particular service, because injectable inside it's taking care of dependency injection. So it's saying to, we are just saying this particular class can be available for injector. So you know it, how the dependent injection works. If you are aware, if you are not aware of that, let me explain what is a dependent injection. For example, this user, so for example, now if you go to our particular user component TS, now we have save user, right? This save user, it's now we are not going to write a logic here. It's going to depend on this particular class user service, right? So if you want to access this particular user service, what you have to you typically have to do it, you have to create an object of that particular user service class here, and you have to call that particular method. You have to make action on that, right? That is what typically we are doing it. But dependent injection, what does it means? You have to say to Angular by using this injectable. Once you done, you give the injectable, it understand it's required injector. It can be injected anywhere in the application. You're saying it can be available dependent injection. Okay, so what you have to do it, just come to your component. You no need to create an object of that user service class. Instead of that, what you are doing, you have to create a constructor. In the constructor you have to pass the parameter of that and what is the type of that. That's enough. Okay, and before doing that you have to register that particular service in your module or component level or your root level. Okay, so I will just understand theoretical level. Let me explain it in the practical way. You may get familiar in this concept. Okay, let's go to back to user.service.ts file. Now we have say that it's a service. So anyway, anyone want to inject this service, it's available right now. So that is what's that's about the injectable. Let's, it has some properties. Now I'm not going to touch this particular property, let it be like this. Let's get started. First, what I'm going to do it, first let me cover up how to add a user. Okay, first what I'm going to do, let create a add user. So add user, what type of data it should take it, right? So what I'm going to do it, before I'm going to add a user, so it should have some collection, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm just hard coding it, private user list, for example. And what is the type of this one? So I'm going to store a user list. What is the type of this one? This is a user array type. So you can mention user model array type. Okay, and initially it should be a empty array. Okay, I have done it. Now this add user, whenever you're going to add a user, I'm going to pass in here user, right? It's user type. So I can mention user as a user type. Okay, I got it. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to this dot user list dot push this particular user. Okay, that's what I'm going to do it. So it's showing you because we should mention user model. Okay, now you got an idea about what I done it. I just create a method as add user. That type, I'm passing a parameter as user. That is a type of user model. I have one array. In the array, I'm pushing this particular data. That's what. Why we created this user model class? Now you got to understand it, because I'm just saying that what I'm passing, it's a type of the user. If I pass any other type, it won't accept it. right? So I'm just making tightly coupled. I'm passing some data, that is type of this one. Take only this type. If anyone passing different types, don't accept it. Okay, that's what we created a user model class. Now we created a user service which has one method add user. Okay, now I want this user service should be registered. Before using it, I have to say that I have created service. I have created service, but in Angular doesn't aware of that. I have to register this service to the Angular. How can I register this? First, there is three ways you can register it. First way, you can go to appmodule.ts. Here we are able to see the providers. Here you can use it. You can import your file path and where it resides and what is the namespace, and you can register here. This is one way you can register it. Okay, this is a root level you can register. If you register this one in this particular root level across all our application, across our application, it will be available this service as a one instance. Okay, next, you may get doubt what is a one instance, why I mentioned. For example, you are running this application, you have 5 to 6 component or 5 to 6 modules also. If you register in the root level, the 5 to 6 model, the user service will maintain the same state. Okay, it will not change each and every model different state. Okay, this is a one way you can inject or one way to register your service in our Angular application. Okay, next way, what you can do it in the user service.ts file, instead of mentioning appmodule.ts, you can mention here, there is an option provided, it's a root. If you mention here, you no need to mention explicitly to the provider. You can remove this one from here. Okay, you can remove it, so it will work as expected now as well. So nowadays the modern approach, it's following this particular pattern actually. So what you are doing, you have to register in this particular place, then it will work as expected. No need to mention here. Okay, now let me go back to here. Next, so right now we mentioned root level. Next level, what we can do it, each and every component level, we can register our service. We have mentioned providers. You can mention what is the user service. For example, you are ready to mention it. If you mention here, if you register in the particular service, whenever the components gets reloaded, every time this particular service creating a new instance. Okay, so I'm not going to do as of now. I'm just removing this one. So this is a one way you can register as well. Next, the third approach, you have different module. Right now we have only app module. In case your application can have multiple module. In the multiple module, in the each module level also we can mention, we can register our service. If you register in the module level, that particular module can contains multiple components. That particular component or that particular module, it has a different instance of the service. Okay, now let's go to here. We have a user model and data as a we have created service and it has an add user method. Let me call this method in our user.component.ts. Now same as we are calling it, instead of this we are going to call our service. So how we can call the service? We created a service, we register service. How can we say to the Angular, my particular component depend on this particular service, right? So now what I'm going to do it, constructor I have to create it. In the constructor, I have to pass which service I am depend on this particular component. For example, this service depends on user service, right? So you should mention user service. Let me give a name for this one. So this is a parameter. Okay, Now you may wonder how this component will understand, or Angular will understand this particular component, or it depends on this particular service. Actually, what does it in an Angular application? When the user component instance getting created, it first looks a constructor. In the constructor, it will look at is any service that depend on this particular component. If it is there, first it will create an instance of that particular service. Okay, now we created. Now come here. Now in the save user, what I'm going to do it, this dot user service dot add, I'm going to pass a parameter. That's nothing but a user model. So what I can do, this dot form dot value. You may wonder why I'm passing directly form dot value, why I'm not typecasting, because I created a model and the value comes from the form model, both are same. Okay, that's the reason I don't want make any changes over there. That's the reason I'm able to directly pass it. In case your model and your user form, it has a different names, means you have to pass the value according to that particular service is expected. Okay, now let me see what is the error is throwing here. User model. Let me create, it looks like fine only. Let's boost our user components. Before that, let's look at user model. Let's make this constructor. Okay, let's make it public. Let me see it. I think should not have any issue. No issue. I think my Visual Studio has some issue. That's why. Now go to our user component.ts file. Now we created a service and we added that. Now first we will see is it hitting this particular method or not. So what I'm going to do it, once it's added a service, added to the user list, just I will log that particular user list. Okay, let me save it. Go to Oracle, let me refresh it. Okay, let me give some details. Let me save, click on save it. Now you're able to see that it was hitting the user service and it has a data. Okay, now we are not able to see our data. So to manage that, what we'll do it, we will create a order method as a get users or get users, and this not going to take any parameter. Just what we are going to, this dot user list dot slice. So what I'm going to do it, I'm just taking a new copy, I'm just returning a new array. Okay, I'm just returning it. So I will remove this console. Now what we'll do it, go to our user component.ts file. Now we will create one more property here as a users. That should be a type of user model. It's array user model, and it should be empty array initially. Now we should go to type that, right? Now we've done it. Now come here. Whenever you're saving it, after that what I'm going to do, I'm going to get users. Okay, this is another method I'm writing it. And here this dot user service dot get users. I'm returning this user. So what I'm going to do, I'm just want to assign this to our users. Sorry. So we will call this particular gets users and we will assign that particular user to here. Okay, now we've done it. Now we have this user, but how we will display to the UI, right? So what I'm going to do it now, let's take this user. Let me use a structural directive ng4. So after this div ends, so we will write a one more div and we will write ng if user present, then you just load this one. So what I can do it, before that let's apply one class called nt12 bootstrap class, and you just may apply this padding top as well. Padding top, I just 5 okay. Now let me add a header. This header is a user list. Okay, and let me create a table first. So what I'm going to do it, let me create a row. That should open, not required a row. Let me create a t head, table header. This header, what I'm going to do it, I'm just going to have a 4 fields, right? So one is name, another one is username, third one should be a location, sorry, gender, fourth one should be a location. Okay, now what I'm going to do it, I'm going to add a fourth one as well, sorry, fifth column header, so that will be actions. Okay, we will cover this one later. So let me go to table body, let me create a table row. So here these rows are should be created dynamically. For that, what I'm going to do, ng4, what I'm going to let user of users. Okay, when the users present, that I'm going to loop with this particular array. So I need an index for future purpose, that's the reason I'm storing it equal to index as well. Now here we are going to create a td. So what this should be, user dot name. So same thing for username, gender, locations. So let me give us a proper name here. Let me assign some styles. Class, table borders. Okay, now have done it. Now let's go to our user component.ts file. When you save the user, after that you have to call this particular method, because after saving it we have to display it, not before that. Okay, now let's save it. Let's go to our application. Okay, I think ngIf is not working out. Okay, we will fix that one later. Now let's think about this particular context, save it. Now we are able to save our data and we are able to see it. Now after saving it, we are not able to see this particular data. See, once you saved it, you want to make this particular form as empty, right? Because it should not retain the same value. So to that, how we can reset a particular value, particular form, right? Let's come here. Let me create one more method as a reset form. What I'm going to do, this dot, we have form dot reset. This property, it will reset that value to, okay, let's call this one. After save the user, you got the data, or you can call it after saving it. Let's save it. Now let's assign some value, save it. Now it's back to old thing. Alright, now back to old thing, but what happened is we had a one property one method. Do you remember it? We have set default values. This method should be called because it should not go empty every time. I should set some default value, right? That method you can call it here as well. Now first what we are doing it, you are making some values. Once you've saved it, you just reset the form and you are assigning a default value for that. Right? So you can do this way, and if you don't want to reset the form, I just want to assign a default directly, you can ignore this one. You can directly use the reset form method if you are not used it. If you are not required in your application, you can use it directly this one. Okay, now let me show it one more way. Let me save it. Now this is a problem comes if you didn't use a reset form. Okay, you reset the form, but it's required a value for that. That's the reason. So first use a reset form, later you assign a default value for that. This is a proper way. Okay, now what we done it till now, we created a form and we done add and we just shown into the list. Now if I want to delete a row, how can I do it? Now we are able to see we have one more column, actions, right? So what I'm going to do it, comes to user component.html,